My name is David Gillory, and I'm an orthopedic surgeon here at Orthopedic Associates of Central Texas with the main office based at Round Rock. We also have offices in Cedar Park and at Forest Creek, which is the northern part of Williamson County. I think my role as an orthopedic surgeon is to get people back out and doing the activities that they want to do. It's important that you be able to get them what they were doing and help them return to that normal state. I think anyone who's had a recent injury, if it's significant enough that it's lasted more than a few days, if it's not getting better. The other thing is if you've had an injury where you felt a pop or something let go in a bone or joint, I think definitely that they ought to be seen by an orthopedic surgeon, fairly rapidly, because there's some things that you can fix and help out if you see them early, and it doesn't get as good a result if you wait very long. The latest trend in orthopedics is arthroscopy of the shoulder. And arthroscopy of the shoulder has been a very big advancement because of the fact that almost everyone gets shoulder troubles at some time in their life. Your shoulder starts going bad at about the age of 40. And when you get in your 50s and 60s, almost everyone has spurs around their shoulder blade, oftentimes get some irritation or tear of the rotator cuff. Before, you didn't really have a very good option because it was going to be an open surgery. You're going to be in the hospital for a number of days, and the results were not that good. With the advent of arthroscopic surgery of the shoulder, it really has made things a whole lot easier. It's now a day surgery. You come in, it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to fix the shoulder through the arthroscope. You're home after about an hour and a half after that. Because of that, then you can resume your activities very quickly. Now, the way I do shoulder surgery is I basically allow the person to use the arm immediately. So you can actually eat, do light activities that night if you wish. And I think that the fact that it's an outpatient surgery, it's not very painful, the fact that you can get back to normal light activity almost immediately has been a huge advantage. So I think that that's the biggest thing right now in orthopedic surgery. The different specialties that we have here at Orthopedic Associates pretty much run the whole gamut. We have spine surgeon, hand surgeon. All of us do a great deal of sports medicine. I do, and several of my partners also do a whole lot of reconstruction, meaning like total joints. The other things that we have covered are our physical medicine rehab physician, which does non-surgical treatment of backs with injections. We have a sports medicine primary care physician, which can help out with sprains and things like that. And he's very knowledgeable and actually works with the University of Texas athletic teams. My surgeries are either performed at Oakwood Surgery Center, which is here in Round Rock, or at Round Rock Hospital. And that's my main base. I will do surgeries elsewhere, but 95% are at that facility. I think that OACT's big advantage is they're in the community. We mainly take care of people in the North Austin area, Round Rock, Cedar Park, Hutto, Taylor. And because of that, we have a reputation so that you can check on us and make sure that, we are doing a good job. And I think that because of that, people come back to us routinely, and I think that that's a big advantage in our favor. First of all, I think you're going to get a good product. The people here do a good job. We're local. We're accountable. I mean, when you have to see the people that you work with, you tend to want to do a good job. I think the most common thing we see, well, it used to be knees. Now, for me, it's knees and shoulders. I mean, those are the most common two things that I'm doing right now is arthroscopic treatment of knees and arthroscopic treatment of shoulders, and they're running almost neck and neck. 95% of the injuries and things that occur to children can be taken care of by general orthopedists. Most of them are sprains, strains, fractures, and we're very capable of taking care of that. If it does get something specialized, we can also recognize that and get you to the pediatric surgeons downtown. I would say Most of the surgeries that are needed for children are short surgeries that we do quite often. And because of that, we could probably get it in either towards the end of the week if you came in early, or even the next week. I operate 5 days a week, and because of that, I can work in people fairly rapidly. My main goal is to, at first, when they first come in, my main goal is to make them comfortable, answer their questions, and make sure that when they leave that they understand what's going on and that all their questions have been answered. When it gets past that, my main goal is to do the procedure or get them the treatment they need so that they can go back to the lifestyle that they were used to before the injury. I think that the best thing you can do for a patient is listen to them. And when a patient comes in, my main goal is to figure out what's going on and to get to the source of the problem and fix that. Oftentimes when a patient comes in, what their primary complaint is not oftentimes the cause of the trouble. It's just what's showing up. And so I consider it very, very important to delve into the problems and find the source so that once it's fixed, it doesn't return. I almost get to the point where I do get to the point, my patients are like my friends. And so when they come in, I mean, we have a little small talk, we get to know each other, and that helps me out because I know what they're interested in, what their lifestyle is, and so when I'm trying to work with them and get them better, I think that comes into play. First of all, the first thing a patient should do is try not to get too worried. This day and age, anesthesiology has made such huge advances. The surgeries are less invasive, and I think they almost always turn out to be less of a problem than the patient thinks. And people get too excited and too concerned, and their friends are telling them all the worst case scenarios. And I would just be confident that things are probably going to turn out well, and that there's not very much that can go wrong. Now, if they have a very risky procedure, we'd let them know up front. So if we say it's going to be a fairly routine procedure, I don't think there's much to worry about. After surgery, I think it's very important to undergo a good intense rehab. So it's particularly if you're doing a shoulder or a knee or a total joint, there is physical therapy involved. Physical therapy makes you get well faster. When they first see you, they're not going to hurt you. They're actually going to do things that are going to make the pain less. They're going to take away your pain, your swelling with the modalities such as heat, ice, ultrasound. And then they're going to start you on exercises that are going to actually make the joint feel better. So I consider therapy a very important part of recovery. Personally, I think follow-up visits are extremely important. After a surgery, I will generally want to see a patient 2 to 4 days afterward. And if it's in the middle of the week, I'll do it 2 days. If it's towards the weekend, I'll make it 4 days. But I want to see that patient. I want to see how the joint is doing. I want to make sure that the wounds are healing satisfactorily and there's no sign of early infection. Because almost all of these problems, if you jump on them early, you can resolve them easily. After that, probably about monthly. Most of the time, we need to see people monthly because of the fact we need to reinstate their physical therapy, make sure they're making progress. The areas of orthopedics that I primarily specialize in at this point in time are shoulders, hips, and knees. Those are by far my main areas. Shoulder arthroscopy, 3 or 4 almost every week. Knee arthroscopy is the same. The other areas that I do a lot of and that I tend to specialize in are reconstructive surgeries, particularly total knees and total hips. I've got into that just because that's where my primary interest lies. I really enjoy fixing up somebody and getting them from the state of where they're really not having a very good time with their life to being able to get back to walking, running, and really getting back to enjoying life. I got here to Round Rock in 1983, and I wanted to come to the Austin area. And when I got out of residency in 1983, it just so happened that Round Rock was getting its first hospital. So Round Rock Hospital started in 1983. We came up and talked to the administrator, and he was very pleased to have 2 orthopedists. I had one of my other residents that came with me. So we got started with the hospital right from the ground, and we've been part of helping it build and get better. At this point in time, I've got 3 children. 2 are graduated from college. One is in general surgery at Birmingham, Alabama. My other one's an English teacher. The reason I really like being an orthopedist, when I was in med school, the thing I saw in orthopedics was these guys got to fix people, and they come back and you got immediate results. I mean, the gratification was huge when you have someone who was having difficulty walking or throwing, and all of a sudden, a month later, they're returning to all of those activities, and it just makes you very pleased for them that you can really help them out that quickly.